everybody, welcome back. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. My name's Iris Smith and I'm the owner of a small business called The Flower Patch, where at The Flower Patch I make beautiful artificial flower arrangements from door wreaths, door swags, things for your home, things for your garden, weddings, funeral tributes and much more. Right, today guys, before I start again, I just wish to thank everybody for subscribing to my channel, and also for David in Ohio for sending a lovely message out to all you people to get me to get to 800 subscribers on my page. And for the lovely message that you put out there concerning my work and what I give out to you all wonderful people. It was very heart touching, David. You know how to pull at my heartstrings. Anyway, let's just carry on. I've had another order. Now these I've had measurements only to the length of where I can only go. A customer has required 2 just funeral tributes to sit I guess in front of a headstone, gravestone in blue and yellow only. She sent me a picture of something she would like, the shape of like what you'd have on your casket, that sort of shape, cascading down, but I can only go to 12-inch. Now these are, and she wanted them I think in a square dish or rectangular dish. I've pre-done these. I've got wreath wrap, and with my foam I place wreath wrap around the foam first, and then I place wreath wrap over the foam and then underneath these trays as well to hold in the foam. I could glue it in, or I could put the pot tape on, but with it being on the funeral on a graveside, I don't want to show the tape. I could easily put felt there or something, but that felt would get wet and would start getting moldy. So I'd rather just get the wreath wrap, which is waterproof, to go over to hold it in, instead of showing my mechanics. So I've done that with 2 because the lady requires 2. So in today's project I am going to show you how we do 2 of the same item with the same elements and where things are placed in the same position. So that's what we're going to do. Now I haven't got much leeway with these because these are 10-inch long, so I've got 1 inch either side to play with, and that is all. I may end up having to go just a couple of inch over, but I'm sure the lady wouldn't mind that. But I'm going to try my hardest to keep within the measurements of what the lady's required, hence the reason I've got my tape. So the picture that she sent me had got these elements. I have split them into 2. I've got a pile here and a pile there, so I don't take off one and then start getting confused. I can take off each separate pile, so they are split into 2. So first of all, on the picture I spotted some lovely palm leaves as well. These are plastic because these are UV protected, so they're fantastic for outdoors. So I've got out some of them. I can't quite see how many is in, but with my experience of doing things like this, I've got an idea of how many is in. So we've got the same amount as what I've got here as I have in this pile. So that's those. I did spot the variegated ficus, which I have chopped down already, and again I've got some here. So again, I've got 2 piles of everything. I haven't counted these because, you know, I've just chopped a lot down, so I can just place them, but I've spotted those in it first. Now, I spotted grass. Now, I've added this addition into it as well. But I have got a bunch of grass again, which is flocked or waxed, and so this is also plastic, would look lovely outside with a bit of fern in for the movement. You know me guys, I love the wispy bit, for a bit of movement with a few little pods on the seed pods on the top with sword grass. So I've got both of those out, and again I've got the same out here as well. Now, I did see some fern, some leather leaf fern. I did spot that as well, so I've got some of that out again, same and the same amount on each pile. So I've got those out as well. These are a rubbery texture. They are lovely to feel, they really are. So we've got those as well. I saw some, because I saw that fern, I thought we'd add a bit of the Himalayan again for the movement, and to just add, because when I used to do casket sprays or coffin sprays with fresh flowers, I loved to add in fern. It used to give off a lovely you know, sense of harmony and movement. Same with, you know, the eucalyptus, that does exactly the same. So I've added in this extra. Same again with this pile. I didn't see any of this in the picture. I don't know whether I'll add this in, maybe at the top again for a bit of a natural look. Again, this is UV protected. This would look fabulous and natural, very ground and earthy, you know, for again for the arrangement to be outside. Again, same with that one. Now I have got 10 single stems, they come single stems of eucalyptus cinerea. I spotted that in the picture also. So I've got 10 stems of each. I may not use all of them because we've got quite a bit of foliage, but we will add those in. Now for the floral, I spotted yellow roses. Now these would have to be sprayed with protection against the weather because these are silk, guys. I don't buy plastic floral. So with these being literally silk, they're very delicate to the weather. So I will have to treat them with my spray to so when it rains, then the rain will just drip off and will not soak into them. And also it protects it with the sunlight as well. So I have got 5 yellow, beautiful lemon roses, which we will place in. And I have got, now these I have got in the foam, the navy blue roses. She had blue flowers in, but I couldn't make out what they were, guys. I couldn't really see. I don't know if they were cornflower or carnations. I just couldn't see. So I decided upon myself. She did say just make something similar to this. She didn't specify what, so I've decided to use foam roses for the blue, and they will be, I will spray protection on these as well, even though they're just foam, but I'd rather spray them and protect them from the weather also. But the layers on those look so realistic. Some people are against foam flowers. I don't mind in roses having foam, because when I bought them and that, I bought many colours of these. They come in a box of 25, and you get the stems with them. You do get a separate little bag with foliage, but I've taken the foliage off because we've got so much foliage here. And the layers and the way they are designed to, they do look real from afar. So I've decided we're going to add in foam for the weather again. And I did see some light blue flowers as well. Now these are silk as well. These have got their own foliage. I've only got one bunch, which is this one, which only had 6 stems. So I'm placing 3 of each of these also on the arrangement as well, on both sides. So that is what we are going to do today. So guys, I hope you're ready for this. And this is how I also do my hanging baskets. I position, let me just get all of those florals together. I position the piles and I separate them from each other. For this, I will place a rubber band around these florals so they don't get mixed up with these ones. So if they did fall on the floor, they're all still together. And then I just have to pick up one instead of several. It's not me being lazy. So they are also together. So to keep those out of the way, I can place those there. Oh, and I have placed here some salal, just in case I need filler. So I place that there as well. I'm going to be bringing the camera down, and I'm going to be placing what I do, I place the foliage all in the same order. So I have my palm ficus, so then I get my ficus again on this side. I've got my eucalyptus. Let's just eucalyptus. Let's put both of our ferns next to each other. Again. Now conifer. And then our grasses. So I've got them all in the same order. I may have to stand up for this, I don't know. Because, well, I may be standing and sitting, a bit of both. So if you don't see my head, oh, and I've got my coffee. I made sure my son, who's not at work till tomorrow, got me a coffee before we started. So let me just have a look at the camera, guys, because I'd like you to see. I'm going to bring it slightly forward and bring it down so you can see. So let's just place those floral there out of the way. Right, again, we've got measurements. So 12 inch, and these are 10 inch. That's to there, but the foam is actually, if I did it by the foam, you're looking at 9 inch. So then you could say 1.5 inches either side. So So about there. So I'll keep that like that. Now I was trying with this earlier, and 1.5 inches, that's going to bring that really far in. And again on this side, I want to keep it a very similar, you know, oh gosh, length, that's the diameter. I'm going to, the width, the depth, sorry. The depth has got to be something similar. Now if I was going here on either side, then I could go shorter here on this side. So this means I'm going to have to take off quite a lot of these. I will cut and save. I will measure with this where I pulled off. And I'm just going to cut the same length, and then I'm going to do exactly the same on this side. Again, what I've done on one side, I will do on the other. So, to start with, because I have only got 1.5 inches either side, it needs to be around there. So I may need to even take the next couple off. Very tiny. Again, this is a customer's preference and length of what she wants. So again, let's cut. So I'm going to get this now, and I'm going to go up. So it's going right, that's just slightly over. I'm sure the lady won't mind. We need a bit of length. It's only by about 1 inch. And I'm going to go up again and push it right to as far as I can get it. That's one. And then you do the same with the other one, guys. Two, take off. And this is so then you can make sure that everything is placed in the same position. Right, so that is that. Right, that is on 13 inches, so we've not gone really over too far, because that's how much we've had either side to play with. So that was from there. Now we've got to do something similar on these sides. So I'm going to chop and we're going to come out one, two, three, four. And do the same and go in the center. I did take that off of there, so I'm going to have to take it here. There, right. Do the same on the opposite side. So then you just have that on either side of both of your arrangements. I'll place that there and just have a drink. Now I did notice some above, so I'm going to take off 2 at the bottom. So you're going to have 1 coming here and then in each corner. So 1, how many has that got on it? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's that. So we want 4 either side. To start with. So now we'll do the same 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Too small. 2. 3. It's too small. I'm counting how many leaves on either side so it is symmetrical. Then the same amount. Right. So I'm going to place 1 here. And then do the same here. And because I've got one with a point this side and there's one without a point, I go opposite to balance it out. And you can slightly just bend them over. Just to give them that sort of a movement look. So that's the first one. Now we'll do this one the same. Again, I'm just bending them over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. got one. Where's that one? Just get rid of that glue. So I've bent those over like so. So then we've got another one. We're going to use the point and we're going to go, oops, I've got glue on me. 1, 2 and 3 in the centre. Again, I'm not going to go really high. So we're going to go stick that up like that. And I'm going to use one on here. Two, and then this last one, and 3, and that's the triangular position with your palm. So I do the same with this one. So now we don't need these. Now I just got quite a few out just to be on the safe side. Oh, let me get my bucket, guys, so I can place them all in my bucket. So that is what we've got with our palm on both ones, mirror imaged at the same time. So then now we get our ficus. Let me just take the rubber band away off a bit. Oh, let me get my coffee. And then do the same with this one. Take our rubber band off, place that there. These may need to be cut down because obviously I cut these at quite a length because I was, you know, going through my head whether to leave them like that. But I've decided I'm going to chop them in certain areas because I don't want one that big. I don't think. Does that look down there? Oh, I don't know. That looks quite nice. Oh gosh, guys. So if I have one that big, I'm going to need another one the same. And I've got to count the amount of leaves I've got. So I've got one section there, one here, and one here. So that's got 3 on, that's got 3, and that's got 2. Now on this one I've got 3, 3, 3. So you can either chop one off or look, here we have it, we've got one here. 3, 3, 2. So that is for that side. So again, I look for the same. That's not got enough on. That is that. See, some I may have cut smaller. Right, I will have to cut some where it's got 3, 3. 2, 3, 3. Take that leaf off. 2. So now we've got both of them that I've got a 3, 3 and a 2. So what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to go and I'm going to place the stem right near the middle, and I'm going so it lies underneath some of the palm. So I will go here and I will go in at an angle and then just lean it over so it's looking like it's part of the arrangement. Well, it is, but you know, 3, 3, 2. It's joining and intertwining with the palm. Again, do the same with that one. So now I've done that with that, I want to do again exactly the same with this. Some people may think it's quite, you know, oh, messing about, you know, doing one side then switching to the other. But if you want to mirror image something or do two, or especially if a customer says she wants them identical, then you may have to do things like this, guys. And the same with this side. I'm pushing it all the way down. I'm going to bend it slightly. Like so. So we've done the same on both sides. So I'm going to place one maybe under the corners, but I'm only going to get the ones where they've got two sections of leaves. Don't know what that's. Right, I can't get that off. I don't know what it is, so I'm going to cut. If something's on and you can't get off, get your scissors and cut the shape of the leaf till it's off. There we go. So that's got two, so I want 4 of those on each side. So I'll save the ones with 1, 2, 3. 4. And we'll do exactly the same with this one. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's switching side to side and, you know, checking that you've got stuff either side. Now with these, I'm going to go, oops, here. So it comes out slightly. The lady didn't say how far to bring it out. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going under the palm in the corners. And I'm going under. Get glue. So that's that one. Do the same with this one. And if you feel that your foliage leaves are sticking out quite far for the customer's request, like I just think some of this ficus is, then like this one, bend it back within itself. Put a U-bend on it, on the actual leaf. Or if you feel that you want to cut it and make them shorter, then you can do that as well. So that's those two. So now we need to be bringing some foliage around the bottom here. So now I want the ones where they've got one on. So 1, 2, let's cut these. And I'm cutting these 3. So I've done 8 there. So I'm going to do cut 8 for this side, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, one more, 8. So that's 8 for that side as well. So then we'll start this one. What we're going to do with these, 2 either side of each side of the arrangement. So, and I'm going to bring them at the bottom, push them right in, don't know that one. Got 2 leaves opposite. And I don't like that. So let's go back through that. It's 2. So then I go to this end here and do the same here. Got it all over my thumb and fingers. It's like spider's webs following me from the pan. If you're finding it hard to push it in, sometimes it is a bit sharp. Then I tend to use my bent nose pliers, what I've got a flat head on them. Because they're a bit sharp, you know, to give me that help to force them into the bottom. That one. And then 2 more on this one. One. So that's that one. So I don't need, I think I'm, no, I don't need no ficus in anymore. So of this side, so place that there. And then we do the one on this one, exactly the same. Again, just placing them either side at the bottom. Again, with this, what I do with this, I don't open them, I just, because it's flat, press it in to help me along. Or you don't have to use one of those. You could, if you've got a flat knife or anything like that, because it's quite short where I've cut it. And let me just open that up a little. There. I think that is a bit too long, so I may have to cut one off. And that's all you do if you feel that it's too long. Oh, that one's torn for the customer. Got no wire in it. Oh my goodness. And because I am very fussy, guys, because I've just chopped one off of there, I've got to chop one off here to make it exactly the same. Because then I know they are both really the same. So I looked for the one that was quite long. Push that in. Oh, it's not long for the choir concert now, guys. I'm really looking forward to it. I love doing the concerts. We are singing Gloria by John Rutter. We are doing that piece, movement 1, 2 and 3, which is a fabulous piece. We're also doing another one by John Rutter, and I can't remember. The concert will last about an hour and a half, 2 hours. One, two, three, four, five. Right. So they are all done. We don't need no ficus now at all. No, I cut a lot down, but never mind. It can all be used as our ornaments. Sometimes when I say oddments, people think that it's bits and bobs, what I've not got nothing of, and it's oddments are that I've cut too much off of a fresh stem. That's what I call oddments. That'll be cold. Right, so now we are on. See, I don't know about till May, who knows, on our eucalyptus. So get those out of that side. Now I did heart over here. So what I am going to do, I am going to go here, and these are also where you can push the leaves up as well. I'm going to go here, here, here. I'm going to bring some down at the bottom as well. So let's do the bottom first. Right. I'm going to push these up slightly again. Oh, I knew I had something to tell you. My brain was ticking. The lady from the care home, she came to collect her hanging basket for her gran. Oh guys, apparently her gran burst out in tears. Oh, isn't that sweet? And immediately she went over to it and she started touching it, and she said, and she was saying, oh, I must water those in a bit later. So she immediately thought there was real, bless her. And she couldn't thank me enough. And her nan, even the nurses in the care home said it was beautiful, and her nan was really overwhelmed by the colour and sat staring at it, she says, for hours and hours and hours. And she kept touching the different types of leaves, she says, which she thanked me for, to keep, you know, keep her mind, as we said, stimulated. And it did, and it still has apparently. So she couldn't thank me enough. So, oh, I was really honoured and overwhelmed. See, that's all something nice and simple. Bless her. How wonderful. Right, so I've put 4 in each corner, as you can see. I've cut them, so I'm going to place 1 here, 1 here, so that will be 6. And again, I'm pushing these up so they are small. I don't want them long, so I'm only keeping them about that length. And I'm going above the palm like so, and I'm just going to bring one of the leaves up to the top, and I'm going to do the same on the opposite. Bring that leaf up a little bit also. So we have got your eucalyptus. I could place them there. How many for 2? Then I'll only have 2 left, which I could bring in the middle. So yes, let's do that. 10 each. We like to fill it up. So again, what we do on this one, we are going to have to do exactly the same on the other one. So then the other 2. Now I'm cutting the stems longer. And what I'm going to do now with these, I'm going to go, if it goes in, yeah, out. going to bend it slightly, not much, because these are now creating our height on the top. Because I want to be going down. So now I've done that on that one, I do it on this one. So if I just move some of these up instead of doing them one by one. So yes, hearing the news of the lady's grandmother in the care home, that placed a smile on my face. Again, me, you know, years back working in one myself. I know what they're like. Perhaps a lot of you do. They can be very boring. And so just, I know that sounds awful, but you know, because the nurses and the care workers are that busy, you know, they can't see to everybody at once, and so the residents tend to look like they're bored on the face. And I always thought so anyway. I used to think, you know, oh gosh, especially those who were bedbound as well. But yes, the lady cried. Oh, isn't that sweet? That made me oh, put a tear in my eye. So, placing these now in the corners. Pushing them quite far in. And then two in the center. Going out. Like so. Right, so that is that. Let me bring these up now because these are a bit far down. Can't get me. Yeah, I've only gone to 14 inch, so it's only an inch extra. I don't think the lady will mind that. So, excuse me. So now I want to be placing some of these in for, you know, the length as well, because our roses, you know, especially the yellow ones are quite big, so we're gonna, you know, they're gonna cover a lot of the area. So I'm placing two. here so they stick out as well, and I'm going quite far near the centre. And then I'm going to go 2 in the centre. Again, there's a lot of room at the bottom. We've got our grasses. Our grasses are push-ups, so they can be sat, if I just chop one off, they can be sat at the bottom as well, like so. There's a lot of greenery to start with, and that is basically because, you know, I want to get all that in because there's not much floral that the lady has asked for. So to cover all the areas, I wanted to get in some greenery. I've just got to make sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, to make sure that I'm not going out too far, because I want it to look balanced. So what I'm going to do with these, I'm cutting these stems to around 1 inch on the Himalayan maidenhair fern, and I am going really pushing it in. These are going at the side, not the length, because the lady, it's the length the lady didn't want too long. So I'm placing these as far in as they will go. And if I still think that they may be, you know, quite long, then I will just chop it, and I think they are. So I'm going to chop do the same on there, so they are shorter, and I'll do the same with these as well as the others when I place them around the side. I'll mirror image where it went as well. That's another thing I do, again, to balance it. Right, we need to chop those as well. That's one of those. So we'll do again exactly the same. I know it can be you know, swapping and changing. Some people think, oh my goodness, but it's best to do them at the same time. I have tried, in, you know, not recently, in the past, to do them at different stages. Do one first and then another. Some people like to do it like that. Let me just check. I've done them like that, but I don't like to do them like that, because I find that I am searching through the arrangement to find what I've placed where, especially things that are placed nearer to the bottom. So I would much rather do them where they are, you know, do one and then move on to the next one and do the same again with the next one, because then I know I'm placing them all in the same position. So I've got 4 left, and I'm going to cut these like I did with the others to about 1 inch stem, and then I'm just going to push them in as far as possible and then chop some of the fern off around at the top. I won't chop it yet, I want to wait till it's in to see how much I need to chop. So place that one in, I'll place the other one in as well. So now I can see, so I'll chop that bit off and chop that bit off. Seems to be better to place them in that way. And do the same with this. Mirror image. Push right in. And do the same. These are wired so I can manipulate them. And I'm cutting them around the very similar length as each other. Glue all over my fingers now. Never mind. So that is with our now Himalayan fern. So now I want to place in, let's do the grass. So place that one there. Let's cut. There's only 5, so I want so push these right to the top. These are push-ups. To get the most out of them, and also with them they are become a cluster which will hide some of your foam. So I'm cutting these down. The stem, now I've placed them up because I don't want them this long, and I'm going to go 1, which you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. I could easily get some for here, but I think because they stick out, they're gonna extend it. So more likely salal will be better off on the ends. A shorter leaf. So I am going to place these like so. I'm pushing these far in also. And I'm again mirror imaging. And because I've got 1 left, that will go in the middle on the top. So that will be placed like so. So that's that one. Again, now this one. Oh, I've just gone and broken that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's place one in the middle to start with. So there's your one in the middle, and that is our height. So now I'm going to do the same on this. And just place that there. So one, again, push them up. Cut. Oh my goodness, this one's tough. Can't get it up. Oh, I've just pulled it off. Oh my goodness, guys, what am I like? I told you I'm heavy-handed. When is there a video, everyone, that I cannot do something wrong or pull a flower off a stem because I'm heavy-handed? Two. Is that one pushed up? Yeah. Do the same here. Push it in as far as I can. And I'm remembering where I'm positioning them. I'm positioning them after the fern that I cut down. So again, that is that. So now, again, we have our other fern that I noticed in the arrangement, where I'm going to bring this up at the top. So I'm putting these. Again, if you don't want these that long, you can cut them down or pull a few leaves off at the bottom. These are a rubbery texture. So that's there. I'm going to place so it leans. Again, I'm taking into consideration the length. Cut that. Oops, a daisy. And I'm just placing these in each corner on the top. Oh guys, my mum's out of hospital. An update, my mum's out of hospital. That's great news, great news. but I have a complaint about it. On her discharge note that the doctors wrote and everything, they told my sister that my mum had got an infection, but on my mum's discharge note it states diagnosed sepsis. So I guess you can imagine how I felt about that. I wasn't too pleased that they told us it was an infection and didn't tell us that she'd got sepsis. So I was quite annoyed with the hospital, and I found out that only 2 doctors came to visit her in all the time she was there. I know they're busy, guys. I get it that they're busy. I mean, don't get me wrong, I used to be a nurse myself. I understand the procedure. But again, my mum was just laid there. Just laid there. Like she'd just gone to stay in a hotel, she said. That's how she felt. Because nobody was coming to visit her. Apart from obviously my sister. But concerning the professionals. So, and with her being diabetic as well, that was a danger. And with my mum also having kidney problems to the point where she may have to have dialysis. Well, she will have to have dialysis. Nobody came to see her from the diabetic clinic. Nobody came to see her. These was all promises that somebody was going to come and see her. Nobody came to see her from the renal clinic, which is to do with your kidneys. When my sister rang me, because she only came out yesterday, my mum. When my sister rang me, well, I was, let's say, not a very happy chappy. And I said to my sister, you need to let me speak to them. Because out of me and my sister, you see, I'm very protective over my mum. Out of me and my sister, I'm the one who will give them what for. My sister's a bit more laid back, and I'm the one who will just say it as it is and tell them what I think. My sister's a bit more calmer, so to speak. I'm not when it's to do with my mum. No, or anybody really. When I did nursing, anybody. You don't play with people's lives. My mum is on insulin. They brought her dosage, but she has to have injections. Oh, this keeps coming up. She has to have injections. They brought her dosage of insulin down to what she should be having, so then her blood sugar level went sky high. And my sister was telling them she doesn't have that low. She has to have it more than that. They didn't listen. When my mum lived near me and things like that occurred, oh, I was quite abrupt, basically. Because, and then, I know there's the economy as it is, but then where we live in the UK, the nurses want to get paid more. Yes, rightly so, for the job that they do, but do the job, and then, I don't have, qualms about the nurses and doctors getting paid more, but don't put my mum's life at risk. That's not your job, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that everybody's like that. There is a lot of people out there who are fabulous nurses and doctors. So I don't want you to be texting me and saying that's a horrible thing to say. No. Just remember, I used to be in a nurse and that community one. It's just, don't say things, oh goodness gracious me. Don't promise things to patients that you can't carry out. Because then patients are depending on you. You know, I did actually, I know it's wrong, but I did actually sit there and say, you know, what are they trying to do? Get rid of my mum's generation? You know, because she's old, they think she's had her life, that's enough. You know, this is my Monday morning rant. Say Monday morning, I've been doing this for hours. But that's my mum, you know, guys, that is my mum. And anybody, you know, anybody out there in the world, and they do that, you know, diagnose your parent and with something, but don't tell you, you know, that's not right. So yes, I wasn't very happy. I won't say what I was saying, but you know, apart from one of the things I did say was, well, what would they be like if we, you know, I was a qualified doctor and I did that to their parent, would they be happy about it? I know what the answer will be for that one, guys. And it wouldn't be yes. They wouldn't sit back and say, oh, that's all right. No worries. I assure you of that. So, yes, my sister's doing a lot of phone calls today to the hospital. And to the diabetes clinic and to the renal clinic and so on and so on. So yes, guys. Right, my rant over. But she's back home, guys, and I'm happy about that. So, right, I seem to have 4 of these. So how many of these yet? 4. Right, with these, because they are quite wispy, I don't think I'm putting the conifer in or the cypress leaves. Again, I'm bringing these out on top around here, because a lot of things went on the corners, so I'm bringing them around this position. And the salal, and I may get out something to, you know, fulfill the bottom with foliage for our filler. So that's just for, so it does need some at the bottom. So I will cut these as well. Oh, there's 5 here. How odd. Oh well. So again, I will do that on this one. And then we will start on our floral. And then again, we will be having to place in filler foliage. No, too much. Right, now let's start on our floral. Let's get the other one. And this will help to fill it up. So, yellow roses. 1, 2, and I've got 5 of these. Well, lemon coloured, they're beautiful. Take those out for that. And get these prepared, ready to place these in. 1. Oh gosh, the stems, some of them look quite long. 2. I can't be bothered to take the bands off. We'll get there. Oh. So that's those prepared. Right, now with the placement of our roses, I just moved that one out of the way. It's going to be the one in the centre, then it's going to be one here, one here, so that's 3, 4, 5. That's the placement of our roses. Just get that little bit of material off of it. So I'm going to cut that, oh my goodness, to around there. And this is going exactly in our centre, like so. And I'm not going to have it sticking right up, because obviously it's not going to be a long arrangement. If it was a casket spray and I was doing a 6-foot one or 1.8 meters long, then yeah, it'd be different. It would be much higher up. With the hearses over here in the UK, when you do florals, you have a restricted height on how high you can go with your central floral, and the height is around 45 centimeters, which, what's that in inches? See, I work in centimeters, so you're looking around 18 inches. So that is the height that you're allowed to go if you do fresh flowers or even an artificial one. You cannot go higher than that. So that's your highest point. And you obviously you've got a certain length of how long you can, but go. But the thing is, let me just brush these guys, because I've dropped this one. So I'm going to place this one, bring one of the stems slightly down, and I'm going to bring it there, right at the end there. I don't want it here to make that V, because then that's bringing it out much further, and that's not what the lady is asking for. So I will place this on the end, or should I say at the top on the end, so I've got more room to push it in and go further along. So that will sit like so. I will bend it slightly down so it looks like it's near the bottom, and I will do that again on the opposite end as well. And I'm placing these on top again, so I've got more room to push in my stem without it sitting too close to the bottom. And then I'm going to place one here and one here. I'm brushing them, guys, because they are real silk, and I want to get off any fluff or any dirt that may be on them for the customer. I don't like, you can use a hairdryer if you want them to get off like that, but my hairdryer is in the house. Now I'm placing these here, so I will cut these short as well. And as you can see, I have gone quite short because the sides are usually the shorter side. And I am lifting up, and I'm just going here and pushing that in like so. Now we'll do that on the opposite side as well. With these having their own foliage also, that also gives you filler, acts upon like filler foliage. That's why I don't take those out. So then you have that. So you've got the colour around the bottom. So we've done that one. So we do exactly the same with this one. And go right in the centre, like so. I love doing funeral flowers. I loved placing, I don't know, it just sends me dreamy. Let's just bring that foliage up. Same with these. And again, I cut these ones at the side slightly shorter. I'll do the other one while I'm doing it. This may be a long video today, guys. I'm so sorry if you know, but I'm trying to show you a step-by-step sort of like guide on how to do two florals at the same time. If somebody ever asks for two identical pieces, and this would apply if somebody asked for three identical pieces, four, however many they'd ask for. You know, like for weddings, some people tend to ask for, oh, numerous, could be 20. For the table arrangements, you could have 20 tables and they want them all the same. So, or, you know, however many tables that the bride asks for. So you may have to do something like this, or if you've got your own way to do it, wonderful. Right, I'm placing in, oh, let me take the band off. I've got to stop looking like see. I know how many left of those. So I've got 5 of these as well. Don't they look pretty? So now I'm going with the blue in between these 2 yellows. Oops, a daisy. I could add actually more blue and bring the blue further down at the bottom as well. Now these are just foam. You can just blow on those. So what I'm going to do with these, and I'm bringing them at an angle so they go down in step, and that is what I am doing with these, like a ladder, so to speak. You just look at the one in front and judge how far that needs to come above the one below it and above the one above it. So it's like so. So let me just grab some more of those guys. I've got quite a few of those. So we'll get some more out. And then I'm going to place one here and then here. So let's cut those. And do the same again. Look at it to see how far that is to that, and then try and place it in where it sits with the height within both of them. So when you look at it above, you get that look. Doesn't that look pretty? It's like you've got a little circle around the centre flower. I think I'm going to, because I've only got 3, I'm going to place 3 of these at the top in the triangular position. So I've got 1 left of those. So let me just do this one the same as well. So if I get 4, and these, if they ever come off, just stick the stem back in glue, and oh gosh guys, they just slide in. They are so easy. I mean, I'm not saying one's come off, I'm just, you know, they look so real. And again, people are a bit wary of them. I like them. So again, do the same here. Look at the height, go just under there but just above the bottom one. And just move that one. And this is how you're placing, and again do it here. Go just above the bottom and just under. So that might need to just come up a little bit, like so. So that is those blue ones on the top. So I'm going to place blue ones on each corner, like so, at the corners. So it's going to be like that. And then these, I've only got 3, so I'll place 3 in the centre around the rose. Take that tag off. Don't want to leave that on. I'm just going to cut the stem hang on with the blue at the moment. So again, a triangular position. It's a shame I've not got more of these. So then you have that. So then we'll do the same with this one. Nearly there, and then it's just filling in. Just cut the stems at a 45-degree angle. Get that glue string. Like so. And then we're going to bring 1, 2, 3, 4. How's that twisted? 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to bring 4 roses then on the corners and bring them down below. So I don't need the stems on this long. What have I done with my cutters? Am I going crazy, guys? Oh, the real. Just ignore me, ignore me. So I'm cutting these. You didn't see that. I thought they was the ones that were bent nose because they're the same brand. But yeah, you didn't see that, guys. So I'm cutting all these shorter length. I'll do the same with these. Just lift the heads up on them. Right, so that is those. So let's get the corners. right on the bottom layer, like so. I go around this way. Again, I'm not bringing them out too far. I'm keeping them within. The yellow on the end is the one that sticks out the most. Further than these blue. Got caught on a leaf. So that is one. So now this one, we'll just replace that one over there and do the same now with this one. I'm placing them on the corners again. I'm making sure that they don't stick out as much as the yellow one here on the end. Yeah, we'll definitely have to just add some filler. So that's what we have from the top on both of them. I can just grab that. So it's like so. So now we're going to use our, I don't know whether to use salal or something different. I think it may be salal, guys, because it's a wonderful filler. Or I could use a tea leaf. Let me get a bit of tea leaf out, or something along the lines as well. Just put that, take that. So, one, I've got some what I placed on picks too. If I take the ones with on the picks out, oh my good gracious me. Right, like so. Now with these, there isn't any, I may not even need the other one, but I've just got it there in case. There isn't any technique that I'm going to place them in, or you know how they should be placed. I am now looking for just gaps, and I'm just going to fill in the gaps. And I know for a fact that underneath, when you lift up, I can see the odd gaps around here, here, and under here. So I want to fill some of that with a bigger leaf to finish that edge off. And also I've got a gap here. I could place in one of those, with it being a larger leaf in there, to fill that up as well. Because by placing smaller foliage, you are going to be using more of it just to fill that gap. So if you've got something like the salal or anything like that, calais, or you know, bay leaves, anything, or sage leaves that are much bigger, rose leaves, you know, to fill in those bigger empty gaps, then that will save you placing or using a full bunch like this and cutting bits off, because they are so tiny. So that will fill more in than what that will. That I may just add just for a different texture, but just the odd one here and there. But I will be using the majority of our salal. So again, I'm not going to mirror image these, even though they're more than likely got the same gaps in the similar places, but I'm just going to place these in where I see a gap. So I'm going to start at the top, and straight away I can see a gap just there. And with this being a big leaf, that's immediately filled in my gap, like so, just there. And that is what I'm going to be doing all the way around. So I would turn it, I can see one under here, so while I'm on this side as well, I will place one under there as well to fill in that gap. And some of them I will place in further, you know, more of a depth than the others. So now I've got two there, and because I've got my wispy and my foliage and my fern and my ficus, it doesn't look out of place. So what I do now is I just turn. I don't turn and do a full turn like so. I do a small turn because there could be one hidden here that I may need to place in. So I just look, part a few leaves, yes, I can see a gap there, and I'd like that to be filled. And that's all I am doing, guys. And again, some of them I am pushing down further to allow the other foliage that I've placed in to come to the top, so you can also see that. We don't want to just hide and what we've placed in and just have our salal showing. So you can see one just through there. push that in quite far. Right, one of my rose heads have popped off, so this is all you do. Dip in, place in, wipe the excess off underneath. And replace it in the position that it was in. If you want to use also like ivy, you know, big leaved ivy as well, that would look nice. Or fittonia, that would also look pretty. You know, because it's a bigger leaf. Bring some of our grasses and make it wispy and stand out. So I can see one there. Now if I was using these smaller ones, I may have to probably use a full bunch of it. And I think one more on the top. It's sort of like I'm doing the top layer and the bottom. Well, so as you look from the top now, that is full. So again, let me just grab that. Just cut that little bit off. Glued. So yes, you have that. So if I wish, for the bottom, I could take off little clusters of this, like so. Keep that one by itself. One more. Like so. So if I think that I may have used too much now salal, but I still yet want to place in something at the bottom. So all I would do now is just lift up and just do that. Just to add a little bit of different texture around. I've got little clusters. I've not just done it in big clusters, I've put some by themselves. This is just to finish off the edge underneath, so it looks like, you know, it's completed. There. And I've got 2 clusters here, just to fit in. At the bottom. One more. See, you can use a lot of something this small. So if you was going to try and fill it, all your gaps, you could be using a lot. So that's one finished, with a little bit of tea leaf around at the bottom and all full at the top. So that is one done for the lady. So now I will do the same with this one. I will cut some of these as well. Just keep those, and I may need some salal as well. So we'll just take those to start with. So we do the same procedure, and I tend to like to move them around like that so they fan out. And again, that will also have, you know, fill in something, a big of a, you know, area. So I've got quite a big large gap here. So I fanned it out, and it's like that. And I did, if I can remember correctly. So what I'm placing is I'm doing one and then going underneath. Here where I can see a gap, but I'm placing this one slightly deeper, and then I'm bringing some of the foliage up, you know, to intermingle with it so it doesn't look odd. And then again, I'm just turning now around. Fanning it out. Oops, I've just pulled that one off. And as you can see, again, I'm just moving it around slowly. I'm not doing a big turn because I want to make sure that I get all areas that need filler, like so. And there's one up here. I also want to make sure that the lady can see the floral. One at the bottom there. Let's get this back on the stem. Oh my gosh, I can't. Where's me? Let's just cut it. So I need one here. And I'm going to push this in as depth. Again, and then just intermingle some of the foliage so it joins in with the arrangement. Sorry that you can't see, guys, it's just that as I go round, you know, I'm just doing it as I'm going around. And then there's going to be one. Like so. And then bring some foliage up and out through, so it all looks as one. So then now we start on the bottom. And again, we do exactly the same with this, adding a little bit of different texture. Just lift it up. And then just placing it. Sometimes, depending on what it is, I mean, some people might just want a small little arrangement and it won't take as long as this. If some people want a funeral arrangement, obviously I really do take my time. I take my time with all my arrangements, but with the funeral arrangements, I put into it, I have to think about the deceased and the family members. You know, and take into consideration what they have said that the deceased doesn't like or did like, and that, you know, is where I have to think about the floral, the textures, or, you know, I really go deep into it. Again, not that I'm saying I don't do it with anything. What I do it with all of my work. But It's just, I started out in funeral work. Oops, I've just dropped one off. And you know how you had when you start something for the very first time and you learn something in a certain you know, area or anything like that. When it comes to doing them, as you know, all the time, I was doing them. It just makes you really think. I'll take that one. Place that one in. So there is your second one, guys, and that is both of them completed. Sorry if it took a long time. It was a long tutorial. I wanted to show you, you know, in great detail how you would place things together if you're doing more than one, you know, arrangement, but yet the customer has asked for them to be identical, and how you can, I mean, again, you may have your own way of doing it. It may be quicker than my way, you know, everybody's different. You do find what's most comfortable for yourself, and how you'd feel doing it, but you know, easier for yourself. I find doing it like this easier for myself, by just placing and preparing everything. And I think if I measure, they should be both the same size. So that is 28. Oh my goodness, yeah, both the same size. And I'm gonna go, yeah, 14-inch still, guys, from the longest point to the longest. Yeah, 14-inch still. So they're both 14 inches. So I've gone over, I'm sure the lady won't mind because they're not much gone over. I've gone over an extra inch either side because I only had two, you know, an inch to play with. So I've gone over, you know, I've gone 2 inch either side, so there's 4 there. And same with this one. So I will be taking photographs for the lady, and I will be sending them to her. They will get wrapped up. She is coming to fetch them. I did give her the option of having them delivered, but she's coming to fetch them. I think so she could have a look as well, but they will be in a cellophane. Things like this I can either box up. Now the lady wanted to just see them in a bag. So what I tend to do, I have these gift bags, cellophane bags for floral arrangements, fresh flowers and dried, doesn't matter, they're for both. Which I place them in there, I scrunch them at the top, and then I place a bow on it, and then I also place a sticker on what says thank you for your custom, and then I also attach one of my business cards. So if they go away and another member of their family or friends wants something, then they've got a card. So, and then I also print off the invoice for them, and then I've got a card machine. So it's a bit dusty at the moment, but my card machine's here, so they can pay by cash, card, anything like that. So and that is how I will pack these up for the lady. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Again, sorry if it went on a bit, but I did, like I say, I did want to show you how to do 2 identical flower arrangements. you know, I've done them where you've seen me do one flower arrangement, but I wanted to show you where you do a pair. Again, you could do more for weddings. The table arrangements, they would ask for, could be 10 tables upwards, who knows, but they'd want them all identical. So I thought I'd give you an idea on how I get things ready by placing the floral in different sections, not all together where I'm getting a bit confused how much is left. I place 5 of like the roses, the yellow roses, the 5 yellow roses on this side for this one, and 5 yellow roses on this side for this one. So I've got everything all organised and ready to go. And so again, I hope you enjoyed that. It's lovely in blue and yellow. That's our local football team colours, blue and yellow. Mansfield Town Football Club, but they call them the Stags. So, but that's their colour uniform. The football gear is yellow and blue. So again, I hope you enjoyed that. Give it a go, whether it be in these colours, any other colours, or just one colour of your choice for somebody. But if they're having a pair, like for mum and dad, you know, but you want them the same, this is how, you know, a bit of idea of how you'd start to do a pair together. I know it can be a bit like, oh, place this here, then move to that and do the same on there, but then that is how you know, achieve an identical look. So please subscribe, share and like, guys. I hope you know, that you watch many more of my videos. I'm very, very, very honoured to be doing things for you. I'm very touched by all your wonderful, wonderful messages. And David in Ohio, you know, thank you again. You touched my heartstrings with your wonderful words. Nobody's ever done that for me before. I'm a giver. I don't, you know, take things off, you know, or credit or anything. I'm more of a person who gives out praise and credit and things like that. So for someone to do that for me, it's very heartwarming. So thank you, my darling. Much appreciated. So again, guys, please subscribe, share and like. I hope you have a wonderful day. I will do a close-up, and take care of yourselves. Good health. God bless. And I love you all. Bye bye for now. Oh my gosh, it's gone over 2 hours, guys. 2 hours. 2 hours and 20 minutes. Oh my goodness. Well, we have started from start to finish. Right, the foam roses, guys. Some people are not a fan of them because they don't like the touch. They say they don't look real. But look at the layers on how they've sat them. They made the layers look real. It's outstandingly fabulous. So I love them. And then we have the blue, very pale grey blue roses. And then we have our wonderful, wonderful yellow roses. We have our Himalayan maidenhair fern. We have our grass with a bit of fern with the little pods on top. Our ficus. We have our just plain grass down here. We have our salal, what's used as filler. Our eucalyptus cinerea. Our rubber textured leather leaf fern. I can't think of anything else. Oh, and our tea leaf under the bottom. If I just lift one up, just here, used as also as filler. So I hope that you enjoyed that, guys. Have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Love you all. Bye.